Hello and aloha pa to everyone. This would be for now the last speeches that I'm going to make about the continuations of the event after I came back from British Columbia, essentially to Ontario and creating this institution of guardianship. So it was definitely in 1999 that we abandoned the house. Actually, the house was in the name of Lisa. It wasn't even my house. And she's just along with me abandoned it, and she decided to stay in Calgary and went with her car, and I came all the way to Ontario. Already I've spoken to Tawhid about it. And Tawhid suggested that he's in Kitchener-Waterloo and I should not probably be in the same city as him, so I decided to go to Guelph, which was closer because I didn't know where Guelph is. So I came here and I saw my friend in the University of Waterloo, and I spoke about what happened in British Columbia. He heard about the story of Lisa and how I left her and the dream that I had. He told me that immediately I have to go and bring back Lisa because baha'u'llah told you so, so you have to bring her to baha'u'llah. Living in Calgary is not a good idea. So I said, all right, if that's what you think. He said, yeah, this would be a better idea. So you could say Tawhid really saved Lisa's life because I was cut off from it. I didn't want to do anything with it. So I came here at the Sandman Inn Hotel in Guelph. I stayed a month there and we got some apartment. And another person that helped me was Sirus Saburi. I think at that time he was in Fergus, Ontario. He helped me to get the apartment and few things, and I started put my ad in Yellow Page and I started to do the construction company. And as I was talking to Sirus, I remember the dream that he had in Thunder Bay. Somehow when I was in Thunder Bay, he gave me a call. I received a call from Sirus Saburi that he said, I'm a generous man and he needs some help, and if I could help him out to set a business in constructions or anything like that. I told him, come over. And it was in the event that when my wife went back to Australia, and he came there, stayed there for a month. I helped him out, you know, to become a contractor, and I found that he was a contractor when he came in Fergus. He had a dream then. That was a pretty strange dream too. And he said that, Mr. Temori, I had a dream that baha'u'llah has come to Guelph and has started a construction company, a contracting. He's a contractor. At that time I told him this vision will come true one day because it has no meaning except that this is going to happen. So when I came here, I just reminded myself of the dream that he had. I told him, do you remember, Sirus, you had a dream? Baha'u'llah came in the city of Guelph and became a contractor? He said, yeah, I remember that dream. I told him, what do you think it means? And I didn't say anything. He said, my God. I told him, you know, there's no baha'u'llah coming in Guelph, but I'm coming in Guelph to become a contractor. I'm speaking on his behalf, isn't it? I guess that was a message to him. So as soon as we came here, I decided to go to the National Spiritual Assembly. And I went with Lisa there. We saw Mr. Ayatollah Rouhani. I think he was the secretary or something. He received us and I gave him some books, writing this and that. I told him, listen, there's a letter written that I've written to the Universal House of Justice, and there hasn't been any answer. And no answer is also an answer. It suits me. But there's no reason for me to be outside of the Baha'i faith because whatever Universal House of Justice says, I'm going to agree with it anyways. Why am I cut off? Because I'm not going to do anything. I haven't spoken to any Baha'is about anything. And whatever the decision of Universal House of Justice is, whenever it is, for now, I'm a Baha'i, I believe in everything. I have to be there. I do not want to be with Lisa like this. I'd rather marry. He said, okay, that's very reasonable on your behalf. And you came here, and I'm going to speak to the National Spiritual Assembly. After a week passed, he sent absolutely the same letter that was sent to me 5-6 years ago. Or 3-4 years ago, yeah. Same letter. That I have to see a doctor. It's very important. I put that letter later on, you can see that the National Spiritual Assembly clearly misquoting the Universal House of Justice. Universal House of Justice was saying that, but also tell him, that is me, that Universal House of Justice disregard his belief about the elders as misguided. The letter of National reads that they tell me that the Universal has told you, that the Supreme House has told you, Mr. Tomori, your belief about yourself. The word yourself is not in the letter of Universal. About yourself and his friends are as misguided. So it's a misquoting, direct misquoting from the letter of the Universal House of Justice. It seems everyone nowadays is interpreters of the Baha'i faith, because there isn't one. So he said basically, essentially, that he can't do anything about it, I said, all right, so I'm left by myself. That's fine. I came very frequently in Toronto, and one day in a Pegah bookstore, I saw this gentleman who was talking about Henry Corbin, an Orientalist, I think, who was writing about the Iran and this and that. I started to talk, and talks went on, and basically I found out that this man knows about Baha'i faith a little bit. His wife has been a Baha'i, but he himself is an atheist. According to him, baha'u'llah is like everybody else, like great people of the world, but nothing more than that. He became very much fond of me, and he was telling me that, I believe you just like I believe in Baha'u'llah. I told him, well, because you do not know Baha'u'llah, mister. You say those things, but if you know who he is, you never say that. And I've explained about him in the first video, how we came, an interaction happened, that finally he had a dream that I'm an elder, because that's what he was asking. And as a result, he accepted. He's one of the elders himself, and helped me to do this institution of guardianship. He was another gentleman of the Sunni sects. And he asked me about, I asked him about Baha'i faith, and I gave him a few books. The book on the life history of the Bab, of Baha'u'llah, of Abdul Baha, and other things. He read, and he had a vision of Baha'u'llah, that he was given the Lohul Baha, which means a tablet of Baha, to him. And Baha'u'llah told him that he will live up to the age 84. He's right now, I think, 78, 79. So with this tree at the year 2002, they all agreed, they are the elders of God, along with me. We went at 2002, we incorporated the International Institution of Guardianship as a phase 1, that the majority of the elders, which of the 3 of the 5 remaining 5 have come together and instituted this institution, and are trying to teach and propagate the religion of God. And talking to Universal House of Justice, which I sent a letter, the institution sent a letter to them, and they never got again another answer from them, nothing like that. And after this, I started to write 2 books, which are on the internet and have been circulated too, both in Persian and English, which is a summary of the Baha'i faith, a look at the Baha'i faith in Universal House of Guardianship. And I bought a house in Waterloo for my son. He was just finishing his degree to come down here, graduate, to come down here, and I went to University of Waterloo, talked to this gentleman. They gave him an admission in the software engineering, a very demanding course in the University of Waterloo. And it was around that time that a letter came from Universal House of Justice. People say, I've never seen a letter. And this is my son reading it for me, saying that, Daddy, the letter says that you are not a Baha'i, you're the enemy of baha'u'llah, you're the enemy of the faith. You are excommunicated spiritually and no one should talk to you, not allowed to talk to you. Therefore, Father, I love you, but I cannot come there. I cannot disobey. Can you believe that the Universal, who is supposed to come and unite people of the world, this is the goal of the Baha'i faith, now between the father and son were the good Baha'is. There is segregations, you know. So, look at this. I'm going to refrain myself from commenting negatively, but big test. So I had to go sell the house, and so the son didn't want to come, nobody wanted to talk to me. The matter became worse. As a result, decided the decision was to go to the Persian newspaper Iran Star and put an ad. Thousands of people called us and we talked to them. To every one of them almost I told them that they better keep their family together and talk to their husband, talk to their wives, talk to their mom and dad, and teach other Baha'is about the truth rather than creating another branch in the Baha'is. Let's be just one institution. This was the decisions reached by the three elders that we do not need to do anything like this. Also, it was decisions made that we are not going to create this International Institution of Guardianship not as a charity organization, so we don't accept money because we're not after it. It was also decisions and my recommendations that these two other elders, let them stay hidden because there is no use for them to come out. I got cut. It's the fight of the 2x4, you know, and the saw. What happens, you get shredded. I told them just back off. Let me just do what I have to do. They agreed that this is better, but everything was based on consultation with each other. We put the ad in the newspaper. A lot of people, as I said, called. We started a website. And we started to put material in it. More than 30,000 people in a few years, they went right onto that website. Everybody was looking at it. Thousands of people called. I remember one of the days that somebody, Mr. Misaghi, called that I'm so interested in in reading your books. That's fantastic. So we went there. He came to the car. We took him in the car. We went to a coffee shop. And as soon as we got there in front of the public, it was me and another gentleman was there with Lisa. And he started threatening language that we're going to destroy you. And I don't understand why did you turn this way. He said, I brought you here to tell you that we have hired somebody, $10,000 we are going to pay him to come and kill you. I told him that's all right. Whatever your decisions are, I've accepted to go through it. And I think you will, guy, you kill me one way or other. And if that makes you happy, do it. And he said that he's been tortured in Iran and was raped. I told him, this is amazing to me, that a person goes that